to Wednesday's market SITREP here at Top Gun Options. Matthew Buckley, my call sign is Wiz, and true to our form that we're doing here in Options Weapons School this morning in our SITREP, I'm going to give my SOT, Strategic, Operational, and Tactical Brief. At a strategic level, we take a look at what's going on geopolitically around the globe, economically, and even militarily, anything that can reach out and touch us throughout the day. Then we peel back the onion and we get operational, talking about what's going here on in here in the United States. For example, the Fed minutes this afternoon, any political developments, GDP forecasts, all those type of macroeconomic data, which are actually looking pretty weak compared to where we are valued in the markets. It's just ridiculous. And then, and only then, can we take a look at trades and get tactical. Now, a lot of folks don't even do this. Many retail traders don't, but this is what we do here at Top Gun Options. Real quick, yesterday we knocked out our first Options Weapons School session, a primary live trade brief. Yesterday morning we knocked out, took a look at a couple potential weekly options trades on Apple and the S&P 500. Also took a look at a bear call spread on the S&P 500 that expires next Friday. And finally, we took a look at a Goldman Sachs long call diagonal with a protective put. If you didn't get a chance to attend that session, all you have to do is head to the replay page. It's go.topgunoptions.com/replay. Not too hard to remember here. And actually, you still have plenty of time to register for tonight's session, tomorrow's session, and Friday's weekly option session. All you have to do is head to go.topgunoptions.com/OWS. You ready? That stands for Options Weapons School. You'll get access to my vertical spread training at 7 o'clock tonight, my urgent alert brief tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and then my weekly options brief on Friday. I'll also debrief the trades from the week and also make a special announcement if we haven't filled up all of our 25 Options Weapons School slots that we're going to release this week. Okay, so let's get to it. Let's do our strategic brief. Moody's cut its China rating for the first time in decades, 1989. I'm not going to tell you what I was doing in 1989. It falls from, I love these credit grades, from A1 to AAA or big A, little a, 3. Okay, what the hell does that mean? Well, Beijing it's been loading up the debt all over the place. Well, and it's actually been buying our debt, and it's technically the largest #1 foreign holder of U.S. debt, which should kind of creep you out. But Beijing, when you can practice capitalism at the end of a bayonet, usually you can get what you need done. So even buried in the Moody's rating cut is something along those lines that, hey, these guys really are trying to get everything under control, but we're not going to see that control for a couple of years. So right now we're just a little creeped out. That's the translation. Translation that all we care about, since we have a couple FXI positions in our portfolios. The FXI is essentially flat. It's down about 4 cents pre-market. Futures are overall flat too, as we talked about. And our Apple bull put spread is looking pretty good. The SPX bear call spread is looking pretty good, because whenever we see these Monday pops, Tuesday a little bit of a follow through, Wednesday's usually flat, and then we fade into the close on Friday. The market does not like being long into the weekend on Friday with everything that can happen. Look at last week, and we had a bottle rocket launch, we got the president overseas, we got the fallout from the Comey memo. Weekends can be crazy, so I think we're looking pretty good for the rest of the week. Still shaking my head here. It was cool that the Yankees played God Save the Queen last night. I think they did it as well before the NHL playoffs last night, or Game 6 or whatever it was. Great, that's awesome. It's touching that we all do that and we all stand with Manchester. At the end of the day, we have to utterly turn these people into hair, teeth, and eyeballs. That's it, folks. All the liberals, all the Democrats, peace, love, understanding, or these idiot people who, Sharia law. We're all being stupid. None of these people understand is force. How do you sit across the table and negotiate with a guy who wants to go to a teen concert and blow himself up and he's wearing an IED vest full of nails? Why don't you go sit across the table and negotiate with him, okay? And after he cuts your head off, I'll put a laser-guided bomb right through the tent flap and kill him for you. It's not going to work, okay? And then the lady, Ariana Grande, she's actually from Boca Raton, which makes my skin crawl. Anybody remember what she did a couple years ago, year and a half, whenever it was, standing in this bakery in, of course, hoity-toity Hollywood or wherever it was, Malibu. I hate Americans. I hate America. And she starts licking these donuts that, were on the counter. Not saying that, she deserved what happened at her concert. But isn't it interesting that ISIS chose this woman's concert to attack? So does she still hate America, or maybe she hates ISIS a little bit more? Grow up, lady. So as I said, futures are essentially flat ahead of the Fed minutes this afternoon, and the China downgrade is already forgotten because Asia closed higher as well. Kim Jong-un, after the missile test, the entire world looks so beautiful. Well, that's great until he puts a big fireball in Guam, Okinawa, Hawaii, or one of our West Coast cities. Folks, this isn't going to end well. You have to keep this in your strategic outlook here, man. This isn't going to end well. He's not going to give up his nukes. He's seen Saddam at the end of a hangman's noose. He saw what happened to Gaddafi at the end of a bayonet, so to speak. The only thing keeping him alive right now are his nukes. So you think he's going to let him go? No. Do you think Trump's going to let him keep him? No. How's that play out? So keep that on your radar. Yesterday, this is a great headline from Zero Hedge. Trader appalled at the market reaction to the Manchester bombing. There's more to life than the next few basis points, folks. With volatility down here, we have terrorist attacks, we got potential nuclear wars, we have really weak macroeconomic data, and the VIX is down here, 10, 11-ish, because the market doesn't know exactly what to be worried about. For example, the Comey memo. After we imploded, and smart people kind of take a deep breath and go, wait a minute. Let me get this straight. Either the former FBI director is a felon because he lied under oath a month ago that said, hey, nobody's pressured me to do anything. So he either perjured himself, or he's a felon because as the nation's top law enforcement officer, when he said that he was, maybe, saw the president obstructing justice, he should have arrested him right there, or resigned or ran to the nearest microphone. He didn't. So he's either a felon or a felon, and that's why the market snapped back here, is because these anonymous sources, based on memos they've never seen, it really is fake news, guys. So you have to be hedged against these plunges. We had a bullish double vertical on VXX that nearly hit max profit in the matter of hours last week. So that was a good trade. But folks, it really is appalling that we're this high with this much bad going on. Everybody's seen the movie Wall Street, or if you haven't, you shouldn't be here at TGO. But Asher Edelman says, I have no doubt that the plunge protection team is behind this market rally. So this is the guy that Gordon Gekko was modeled after in the movie Wall Street, and he's like, I'm convinced. Under Reagan, I forget what it was called, the financial stability, what is it? The Working Group on Financial Markets. Essentially, it's the everybody gets a trophy in the markets. After the 1987 market crash, Reagan kind of created this as maybe a market maker to step in at moments of last resort when the markets get scared. So that that is a little bit of what's going on there. I really do think it is the plunge protection team, and because if you take a look at the macroeconomic data, folks, look at this. Stocks near record highs as U.S. economic data crashes to 15-month lows. Okay, so we're at record highs. The most shorted stock index is at its highest, outpacing the Russell here. There's anemic volume, folks. I got to tell you, it's like leads are blowing around on the floors or even electronically. There's little to no volume in this rally. And look at the macro surprise index. So here's the S&P 500 macroeconomic data kind of following the market, and then we've imploded. So it's just things aren't good out there, and we keep going higher. So this really is kind of a hold your nose rally. You have to trade the market you have, not the market you want. Not that I want the market to go down. To be honest, as an American, yay, you want the market to go up. But as an options trader, I really don't care which way the market goes. It can go up, down, or sideways as long as we have some movement in the market. So that's what we care about. Okay. All right, folks, again, if you haven't registered for Options Weapons School, head to go.topgunoptions.com/OWS. I'll see my accelerated retirement members at 1 o'clock today, as usual, for accelerated retirement brief. That's not included in Options Weapons School, so that was just a reminder for my members. You'll get your link in the mail here shortly. And again, if you want to watch the replay from anything we do this week in Options Weapons School, head to go.topgunoptions.com/replay. Okay? I'll see many of you at 1 o'clock, my members, and I'll see a lot of you at 7 o'clock tonight for our vertical spread training, most likely taking a look at iron condors. Okay, have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting, and make sure you hedge. We'll see you.